This is the Realsee P4 and it is the best virtual tour camera I have ever used. This is a very serious, very expensive LiDAR-powered 3D scanner which is designed to create ultra-high resolution virtual tours, point clouds, 3D dollhouse effects, and a lot more. And over the past few weeks, I've been testing this camera in various scenarios, various situations to see what it can do. Because this is not just a 360 camera, this is a full professional capture system. The big question is though, who is this actually for? Because like I said, this is not only the best virtual tour camera I've ever used, it is definitely the most expensive. In this video, I'm going to go through exactly what this camera can do, what the image quality is like, how it compares to the older Realsee M2, which I tested last year. And the big one, how does it compare to Matterport? So to be perfectly upfront, Realsee have provided me with this camera for free to test out. I do have to send it back because it's expensive. So this is a sponsored video, but I mean, I say it as it is, I do think this is an amazing camera and I think you're going to see why. But after testing this and indeed the previous camera, but particularly this camera, I really do think this gives Matterport a run for its money, not only in terms of quality of the shots, but also the whole ecosystem, how easy it is to produce virtual tours and how much other stuff you can get from these captures very, very easily, very quickly. So let's get into some of the specs. It can produce 24K 3D tours with panoramic images up to around 300 megapixels. That is absolutely huge. It has a single micro four thirds sensor, a 905 nanometer LiDAR scanner, a scanning range of up to 100 meters in ideal conditions, and captures up to 125,000 points per second. It has 520 gigabytes of built-in storage. So unlike with some systems where you constantly need to be connected and transferring, you don't need that with this camera, and that is quite an advantage. The actual scan time is also really fast. Realsee claims around 16 seconds per scan point. And in my testing, it did pretty much feel like that. You can see here how the scanning works. It twists on its axis, capturing images as it goes around, then it will automatically combine them all together. Obviously, the total shoot time depends on how many scans, the size of the building, and how careful you're being. But the individual captures are actually really fast. Especially considering how high quality the images are, they are definitely on the level of DSLR quality. This camera has also added a touch screen compared to the last version which had no manual control. This has a touch screen so you can activate a shutter. You don't need to be connected to your phone. Like I said, this can be fully independently used without any other connection. This is the highest end virtual tour camera or 360 camera I've ever used. I really have to highlight that. If you just want nice looking 360 photos that are quick and simple, then this is going to be overkill. But if you want those full 3D walkthrough effects, the dollhouse, 3D mapping, point clouds, automatic floor plan creation, accurate measurements, as well as high quality downloadable panoramic images, then this is really the best all-in-one system there is right now. So over the past few weeks, I've been testing the P4 in various conditions, and here are some of my results. I wanted to test not only in some big open spaces, but also some smaller rooms, areas with difficult lighting, areas with windows especially, and places with some details so we can see how much detail this huge 300 megapixel images is really capturing. Can we retain those details when we zoom in? The setup process is actually pretty straightforward. You mount the camera onto the tripod, power it on, connect through the Realsee app, create a project, and then start capturing scan points around the space. Before you start shooting in the app, you can choose different capture settings depending on whether you want maximum speed or maximum quality. There is a higher quality option which does take longer to shoot, and a standard option which has apparently lower quality but shoots much more quickly. When I'm comparing the two, I don't see a huge difference between the high and the standard quality. The high quality mode takes longer but more image data and it's a better final result, so might be worth doing, especially in very large spaces. In my experience, the workflow is super easy to understand. You do not have to be technical at all. You do not have to be an expert with cameras. In fact, quite the opposite, because this camera does everything itself. It's HDR ready, it captures multiple exposures, combines them together, makes sure everything looks amazing. You don't have to set up any manual settings. It just does it all automatically. Position the scanner in the right place, leave the area or hide behind the camera, start the scan. watch it spin around and wait for it to complete. Then you just move the camera to the next point. Make sure the points are no more than about 3 or 4 meters in between each other so the camera knows kind of how to capture the space and how to map it. I honestly think that anyone who uses their phone camera is not going to find this much more difficult, apart from obviously the size. Could look a bit daunting, but in terms of, I guess, learning curve, it really isn't that much at all. The skill is in the positioning of the camera and understanding how this LiDAR works, how the scanning works, but thankfully you can actually see this on your phone as the camera is shooting. As long as they're connected, you'll see the virtual tour take shape, how the scanning takes shape in real time on your phone as you're scanning. Now I talked about the image quality and I've shown you some images here, but let's get really looking at these in more detail. The image quality, in my opinion, is nothing short of excellent. The only thing that could beat this is a DSLR setup, which is leagues more complicated and takes so much longer. These are huge resolution panoramas, and when you zoom in, you can really see the difference compared to most all-in-one 360 cameras, even the higher end ones. That is because of this sensor here, the Micro Four Thirds sensor. It's actually the camera that I'm shooting this with is a Micro Four Thirds. So, and this is pretty good quality. So it's the sensor size that's really making these images amazing, and the fact that it just has one, spins around, stitches them all together really accurately. That's why this is so much better than the other 360 cameras I'm usually reviewing on this channel. Realsee describes the camera as having 8 times lossless zoom, so you can zoom in 8 times and still retain most of the details. Lossless is a bit of a buzzword. You are going to lose some quality, but if retaining details is important to you and being able to zoom in and see things, measure and take measurements, etc., then this is going to be good for you. I can imagine this in a construction or architecture environment. Showing someone details if they're in a different country, in a different city, this is going to be able to capture in that level of detail where the person viewing is going to have a pretty good idea of what you're seeing in person. I think a great example of the quality of the images is when you look out of the windows. So, for example, in this space, you can clearly see all of the details outside the window. And this is a bright sunny day where this would be very, very difficult for most cameras to capture that level of detail without any overexposure, glare. But you can so clearly see outside because it uses HDR, captures various exposures and gets rid of that overexposure very, very efficiently. The only negative I would find with this camera is occasionally there is some chromatic aberration, this kind of purple effect in some of the darker areas. This is common in a lot of cameras, particularly 360 cameras, and it is still an issue here sometimes. But out of the 30 or 40 even shots that I took with this camera, chromatic aberration probably only turned up once or twice. You can also download these images and edit them yourselves. You do have to pay for that extra. I'll go into that in a bit, but that is also an option as well. So yeah, this is definitely the highest quality images that I've shot without using a DSLR. So an all-in-one system that is just press a button and go. This is the highest quality images, 360 images I've ever been able to shoot. So I've also used the Realsee M2 last year, which was their previous flagship camera. But now this has taken over. Compared to the last version, let's say, the P4 is a pretty big step up. The most obvious difference is the image quality. The P4 capturing much higher resolution with more detail and a more premium look, but it's also a lot faster. The scan time is quicker. The P4 has the touch screen, which makes the device feel more like a standalone. You also get internal storage, 512 gigabytes, a huge step up. Better processing hardware, and more advanced LiDAR performance. And speaking of LiDAR, this is a huge part of this camera setup, and for some people it's not going to be useful if you just want the 360 panoramas, but you should really only be getting a camera like this if you're interested in those 3D mapping effects, which is done with LiDAR. LiDAR basically works by firing out laser pulses and measuring how long they take to return. I'm going to assume you probably know this if you're watching this video. But from that, the camera can work out distances, work out shapes, surfaces, and build a 3D understanding of the space. So it's no longer just a 360 image, it's a full 360 model of wherever you're shooting. This is obviously more important for architecture, construction, surveying, that kind of stuff, and it is pinpoint accurate, and the number of points it can create so quickly, you see it appear on your phone immediately when you shoot, is really outstanding. And the combination of the LiDAR and the 360 panoramas allows the camera to provide various amounts of deliverables, and it's really quite interesting what you can get from this camera. From one capture, you can potentially create or export multiple different assets. You can create, obviously, the virtual tour with the 360 images, but you can also create the 3D dollhouse. You can automatically create floor plans, which is extremely useful and time-saving for real estate, venues, hotels, that kind of stuff. Now, you can also export your panoramic images so you can capture them and save them elsewhere, upload them independently, which some companies lock in their panoramas, the 360 photos, so you can't use them anywhere else, but with the Realsee, you can. Now let's talk about the pricing structure of this camera because it is a little complex. Now at the time of making this video, this camera is over $7,000, so it is not cheap. But the pricing structure is also different from other camera systems that are similar to this. With Realsee, you buy the camera and then use a credit-based system for hosting and for certain deliverables. In reality, what this means is that you need to think about both the upfront camera cost and the ongoing cost of each project. If you're doing paid work, this is not necessarily a problem. You simply need to price in the cost of the credits into your service. If they want constantly hosted on the Realsee platform, then this is going to be a monthly cost, as each virtual tour will cost 1 credit per month to host. But for high-end virtual tours like this is something that's going to be standard anyway. So one of the biggest questions that's going to be asked is this better than Matterport? Is it really a good alternative? Matterport is obviously still the best known name in this space, particularly for their dollhouse 3D tours, etc. The Matterport Pro 3, which is their version of this camera, is cheaper than this camera, starting at just under $6,000. And in terms of specs, this camera outperforms Matterport's equivalent in terms of image resolution, the LiDAR accuracy, and the internal memory. But that's not really the whole story. Matterport is heavily tied to its own platform and a subscription model. You're paying for the active spaces, hosting, and access to certain features and deliverables. And this is an ongoing monthly cost, no matter if you're using those deliverables or not. And also some outputs and technical files will cost you extra, even when you're paying this monthly subscription. So Realsee is really a bit more flexible, because if you're not going to be using the point clouds, or you're not going to be using the technical data, you're not going to be using the floor plans, then you don't need to spend the credits to be able to make those. Now, fair play, I have not put them side by side and scanned the same place. I don't think anyone has really, but from what I can tell, this is more expensive up front, but on a monthly basis, it will be less, and the specs are better. So some final thoughts here. This has been quite a long video. This is an amazing piece of kit. It really, really is. If you are looking at high end, if you're looking at starting a business, 3D clones of spaces that you need to be really precise, detail driven, then this is the best camera for that I've ever used. But there's no avoiding that it is hugely expensive, and you need to be able to justify that with some kind of business case. So if you're watching this video hoping for an alternative to Matterport, then this really is the real deal. The hardware is great, has not faltered once, and the ecosystem is there to be able to create anything really you want from a LiDAR plus 360 combination. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Also remember, I have a $300 discount with a code in the description. If you're interested in this camera, that will get you $300 off. If you have any more questions about this camera, feel free to put below and I will answer them. But until next time, guys, I'll see you around. Bye.